This is the story of how I almost lost my mind trying to learn a new language in 7 days.
Now, why would I do that? I've never been good at learning new languages, as you can probably hear, and the way languages are taught in school never really worked for me. But in the last year, I discovered a new way of learning, based on failing, not quitting, and having fun with the process. So, curiosity is the reason why, and maybe a bit of masochism. How good can I get if I applied the same techniques I use for every other skill, but for a language, in 7 days?
I always wanted to learn how to speak Spanish. First, I loved the Spanish-speaking countries. I liked the weather, and most importantly, I could finally understand Spanish shows. Mike, an Italian guy who makes English videos and is trying to learn how to speak Spanish.
Sounds like a joke.
After a bunch of research, I wrote down 4 steps that should help me get there. The plan was to go through these steps and practice a lot, then testing my Spanish level by speaking with a friend at the end of the week.
And to be clear, I'm starting from 0 here. Yo soy Mike, and how do you say it? Why?
What? First step, learning the most frequent words. On a random website and Wikipedia, I found a list of the most common words that I'm gonna need in pretty much every conversation that I have. Then I threw all these words into a spreadsheet. Easier said than done. Organizing them in a way to make everything less scary.
Still looks scary to me.
I put random words on one sheet and verb tenses on the other. And even if I was extremely intimidated, I started studying. While reading and memorizing these words, I also tried to get the pronunciation kinda right.
Ejercicio.
Ejercicio. The words are kinda similar to Italian. I only have a few problems with things like ginger.
Jengibre.
Jengibre. How do you make that sound?
I spent the first 3 days reading and repeating all the words in order to memorize them. This is what I wish I could say. The reality is that this step has been really problematic for me. I don't know what's wrong with my brain, but it has been so hard to simply sit there and memorize word after word. In the end, I kept going, but in the past 3 days I learned what a productive person could have learned in half. Anyways, somehow I felt more confident and for sure way more excited, because at the end of the day my goal is to have fun. So after the first 3 frustrating days building a base to work with, I decided to throw myself into the fun part of learning a new language with the next 2 steps. First, gamifying the experience by using an app. And I picked Rosetta Stone because a friend of mine had a nice experience with it. So I set up my account and I started trying, and obviously beginning from the very basics.
Un niño.
Un niño.
This app relies on intuitive learning. What I mean by that is that you need to connect the words you read or the ones you listen to their visual representation. And this works so well for me, way more than simply reading word after word. But this is a 6 weeks class, and well, I have 3 days to do it. I had no other choice than start practicing, because I wanted to complete 3 weeks of classes in 1 day. And actually the first week has been surprisingly easy. Slowly and surprisingly, I was getting better.
Una niña y una mujer comen a nuevo.
And the app makes the process really fun. You learn new concepts during the core lessons, and then you go through vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation for those concepts. I'm not gonna lie, it took way more than expected, but I kept going. So after 7 hours, I completed 2 weeks out of 6.
Vámonos. Yesterday I learned a bunch of stuff. Esto es un bolígrafo verde. Llevo una sudadera amarilla, como el sol. Esto es una pelota. Él está corriendo. Why are you running?
Finishing the whole class in a few days is insane. And to do that, you need to have a bunch of free time.
But I'm pushing it to the extreme, practicing 10 hours a day, every single day.
And besides the fact that my brain was burning, I was really getting better.
Esta es una sala de estar.
Esto es mi gato.
Y este es un inodoro.
Week 3 is gone. This app has been extremely effective so far. Being able to actually see the progress and all the features of the app are making me learn way faster than expected. Plus, they even agreed to help me out by sponsoring this video when I reached out to them. So by using my link in the description, you can check out all the Rosetta Stone's monthly subscription packages, or choose to get a lifetime subscription for $179. It's 50 cents a day for a year, but you'll get it for a lifetime. It's a steal compared to the price of normal classes. So check it out. Alongside the practice with the app, the third step is all about doing the same thing I did to learn English.
Procrastinating in Spanish.
Watching movies, YouTube videos, or listening to a podcast. Anything that can make my brain get used to the sound of the language, the slang, and the way of speaking.
If you want to learn a new language, you need to become one. That doesn't make any sense.
Obviously, I wasn't able to understand that much in the beginning. So every single time I found something new, I wrote it down and researched it later. And I ended up learning a bunch of things this way.
I really hope all this stuff is gonna be worth it. Espero que todo esto... How do you say? Realmente spero che todo esto valga la pena. We got this.
My 5th day looked like this, practicing with the app for 6 hours.
Los niños están debajo de la cama.
Which I believe it means the kids are under the bed. Let's go.
Which allowed me to learn a lot of cool stuff, like how to describe the position of the objects,
El dedo está sobre la mano, el dedo está debajo de la mano.
random parts of the house, and really a ton of other things. Then watching movies with Spanish subtitles.
I'm actually starting to understand the main concepts, even though I know probably 50% of the words I read. But still, it's great. Let's go, Shakes.
I basically tried to integrate Spanish in everything I did.
Estoy mirando una película.
Y siento que estoy mejorando cada día.
I also asked a friend of mine to only speak Spanish with me, and for the first time, I've been able to have a very basic conversation completely in Spanish.
That's so cool.
But the morning of the 6th day, I felt really bad. I kept forgetting words or sentences, and in general, I didn't want to hear or see Spanish in any form. I went through 5 weeks of classes in 2 days, so I was seriously tired.
But you know, Shakes, I'm an introvert making YouTube videos for a living. A lazy guy learning new skills every single week. We can push through discomfort.
And so I started practicing once again. At this stage, I especially focused on finding new sentences. I studied the way of speaking and the verb tenses. I was getting more and more confident, and describing my feelings or the things around me started to become almost intuitive.
Esta es una mesa.
I was extremely excited and at the same time a bit scared for the final challenge. I was getting really close at this point.
Because I actually clickbaited you. I only had 6 days for this challenge, not 7. So this will be my last one.
The training with the app was intense, and even if I only scratched the surface of the entire Spanish class, I felt confident and I was ready for the final test.
Speaking is fundamental to improve any language. I already did it on the app a little bit, but real life can be different.
So, this is Pietro. He's like a brother for me, and he spent 2 years in Spain. Therefore, he knows the language really well.
So he's gonna test my very basic speaking knowledge, and then I'm gonna take an online test. Let's do it. Hola Pietro,
Hola Michele,
¿cómo estás?
bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
Muy bien, gracias.
¿Qué estás haciendo?
Estoy estudiando español.
Wow, ¿por qué?
Porque quiero hablar bien el español.
¿Y te gusta?
Me gusta mucho. Es un idioma muy similar al italiano, por eso no es muy difícil.
¿Y desde cuánto tiempo lo hablas?
Es una semana que lo estudio. Quiero mejorar.
Solo una semana. Hablas bien español.
Muchas gracias. ¿Y tú qué haces?
Estoy entrenando.
Muy bien, muy bien. La próxima vez nos entrenamos juntos.
Vale, me gustaría mucho. ¿Te ha gustado la llamada?
Mucho, mucho. La próxima semana hacemos una otra llamada.
Vale, Michele, un abrazo.
Un abrazo, Pietro. That went well. That went really good. Let's go. And then I also took an online test. The A1 level went pretty well. The A2 level went, yeah, pretty well. But I had to use the Italian inside me. The B1 level went pretty bad, 6 out of 12. So I am something between A2 and B1. As I told you before, I'm pretty bad at learning new languages. But with time and dedication, I will do it. Having said that, this was great. Even though I almost lost my mind at some point. Yeah, if you want to learn a new language, take it easy and enjoy the process. And check out Rosetta Stone. Thank you so much for watching Shakes. If you're not a Shake yet, subscribe and check out more videos. I'll see you next week with a new skill.